Blessings to everybody. How is everybody doing? This is going to be my second video on the findings of Mollie Tibbets. I just want to give you guys the list that I had spoke about yesterday. I will say I'm not God. People do get different things coming through. I am one of those people. I do believe still there is something about the wooded area. I also believe something about a cabin and water that came to me numerous times. I'm not sure on that because where she was found, I am not sure. I feel like she was placed there. I don't think she was killed there. But this is not a sure thing, so I mean, I will read off the things that I had on my list for you so I can give a more accurate, as I did post in my other video the other day. She kept saying he watches them. Now, with the cabin in the water, I'm not sure if that could be where he lives, because he was very to himself. People really didn't know who he was too much. He was an immigrant. He worked in a farm area. So that tells me if he's lived that long in a place where he shouldn't have been, he has to know how to fish. He has to know how to survive. He was employed by a farmer. This is just finding this out from yesterday. The video that I did before the news, I did name off some of the facts. So I'm hoping that the cabin in the water does come up at a later date, and when he's confessing and talking more about what he does and where he lived and things like that. When you are a medium, you don't always just get one person, but I know the person that I spoke with was Mollie. I feel like there is something strange though. I'm going to say feel from now on, because I don't want to say a fact is a fact, because I feel like we can give our findings, but there could be multiple spirits that have given what they want to say. Just something's not adding up for me. I had previously posted that either two men took her or he had a split personality of some sort. Now, he did state, supposedly, I will say supposedly, because for me I feel like he's bullshit, because that would later mean if he faked it, he had motive to kill her. He wanted to do what he wanted to do. He did say he blacked out at a certain point, which does signify a mental sickness, which I had previously stated in my last video. I'm very confused on some things in some of the stuff that I got, because it's making me wonder if I came across somebody else, because now he was in custody yesterday, and I heard a woman say he's still out there. So I'm wondering if there's an actual killer on the loose out there, and there's going to be more bodies found. This is just speculation for right now until I do more work. But I want to give you what I do have. I want to give you what I did write down when I did her spirit session. I have 2 pages back and front. So I will say this: the water and the cabin and a bridge came to me a lot, and when I saw her feet wrapped in the blanket, she was in a high area, like I did state, where it looked like to be grass is way higher than her feet, but that could have signified the cornfield. I could be wrong, I'm not sure. I will start reading my list to you, and also some of the details. Well, now that he's caught, I can actually say the details that I sent in email. I want to Well, most of the stuff that I had in email is actually on this paper, so I will start reading for you. She kept saying he took it. Tell my mother. I was shown a ring, as I spoke in my last video, a blue blanket, a man hitting himself in the head, like arguing with himself over her dead body. But I only see her feet as he's doing that. He's pacing over her body. I seen jeans, blue jeans, a lighter blue jeans, and black boots, and a black, what looked to be a black jacket or hoodie. Arguing with himself as he had a mental instability, which obviously anybody that can take a person's life is not well up in the head. I heard stab. I heard drag. I seen drag, excuse me. The picnic area with the blanket that I previously discussed, but no, there was no one there. The bridge, a brown old townhouse car, which she was taking in a black Malibu, so I guess car meant she was taken in a car. These things you have to figure out like a detective. You have to try to figure them out. In numbers 57211. I did Google map it where they found her body, and actually 21 was in the part around the area, the number 21. I want to say maybe it was like it could have been a route number or something like that, but I know that wasn't the place where she was found, but it was damn near close. Mollie says thank you to me after, as I previously discussed. A pointed nose. See, this is where it gets tricky for me, because I saw wispy bangs, and I also seen a bald spot on the top of the head, like a little one, like an elder man would have, but he still has hair. Raped, strangled, a shoe that had blood on it, or like a sneaker, her running shoe. Taken while she was jogging. We all know now that is true. I also seen a sheet of like greenish and white color, so I'm not sure if that signifies corn silk. The color of corn is green. She knew he was going to take her life. Well, obviously now we know this, because clearly that's what he came to do, and he succeeded. Piece of shit. Cabin, heavy wooded area, pine trees, a lake. Trees growing side-like over the lake, as I previously discussed. Water again. Fishing. Whistling, a very creepy whistle. As in such. Red cloth, as I previously discussed. Tell my mother he took it. The black boots, the jeans, and the black jacket. He also, I believe that when I spoke with the police, that they would find vomit in the woods, because I believed he vomited there, because either from the mental status he says he could be saying, or the nerves of killing her. I want to say believed, or because in the vision that I saw, he was on the ground throwing up, and he looked up, and he was in a wooded area. So I'm personally, I feel like she was murdered someplace else and put there. Dead feet wrapped in the blanket, as I previously discussed. Millbrook in Mississippi. Now, I couldn't figure out what Mississippi had to do with Millbrook, Iowa. The Mississippi River runs through Iowa, which, honestly, sorry on my history lessons, I really didn't think of it until it hit me. He watches them, she said. He's watching her eating an apple in his car. And when I seen him doing this, I saw trees on the side of him, and it looked like to be, I want to say a gas station or a store, as she ran by. I'm not too sure. I want to say gas station, but I think it was a store. I could be wrong. But I know it was a store. Earring as well. She said, he had said to her, I told you to keep quiet. It's over. Your life is over. Dragged dead body. That's what I saw. the cabin had a light on inside of a small window. I also seen a bell on the porch, like an old-fashioned bell, and a small porch around it. It was like an older type of cabin. Now, I'm just stating you to what I saw in my visions. Again, I saw pacing over the dead body over and over. I got the impression of split personality, color blue. I kept seeing the color blue. Hand over mouth. Please don't. Boat, dock, marker. Something about guns, hunter, hurt, hope, better place. This was the visions and what I heard Mollie had said. Now, the other things when I did her tarot card reading, her spirit session with a tarot card reading, I got a very sick, devious man, cunning. I also had wrong decision made. It was very like, it was more of it was like an obsession kind of thing he had for her. Like, he was sickly and obsessed with her. He had to have her. I'm going to show you a really sad drawing that I had. Excuse me, I cannot draw for the life of me. That was not my blessing in life. But I want to show you this drawing. I know it looks stupid, but this is what I have for you. This is Mollie's ring, if you can see it, that I saw on her hand in the vision. This is also, if you can see it, a very poorly looking drawing. Please excuse me. This is actually a river with a tree grown over. These are huge trees. This is something long, like very high, and this is where I saw her feet and her body. And this is how I saw the cabin. There's a light on in this window. There's a porch. I told you I'm a sad drawer. Now the emails. What I put in the emails is more or less what I wrote down here, but I also have the emails where I stated I was wrong on the person who I thought it was. But when she said when she said he watches them, I had sent an email to the FBI stating he was eating an apple and it looked to be a local place somewhere. So if you go to cameras, you will find him on camera. I'm sure he will be following her on camera, she says. He watches her, he watches them. So I had sent an email stating all the facts that I read to you, and a name Dan. I don't know how I got Dan, but the hard part about this thing is when this stuff comes through, you have to be careful how you state it, because you have to be willing to be open that you could be just getting, when she said Dan, okay, that could have been someone's name, actual name, or it could have been initials. I guess I was wrong on that part, but I think I will end up hearing that she wasn't found far from water, like I previously thought. I was thinking they were going to find her in water by a tree. So I'm hoping that the evidence that comes up, it has to do that he stayed in a cabin, he was a fisher, he was a hunter, things of that nature, because I feel like that is a super huge part of this. But like I said, something's really strange about it, because I have a picture of a man in my head, and he's not the color of the man that they found. So I don't know if it's telling me that, I don't even get the feeling that this guy is the person. But if the evidence is pointing to him and he's obviously admitting to it, then I guess that's what I have to go on. But I feel like there's something different here. I feel like the man that did something to Mollie was white, and he was really tall, and he had bangs, and he had some hair missing here. He was very, very huge in height. I'm 5'5", so I'm not that tall myself, but I think something's really off here. I don't know if I'm getting another spirit that was murdered and coming through and giving me that insight, but as Mollie said, he watches them. That was my cue to be like, okay, he's around her a lot. He watches her. Even if they say he decided to just take her, I personally don't feel that, because she showed me a picture of him watching her. That takes time. That means he followed her route to know where she was running. I am going to be doing more cases like this, but for my first time working with the police, I was wrong on a few facts, but I got a lot of things that make sense to me, how they came through. The man and his personality. He dragged her. He killed her. I also have raped. I'm almost positive that's going to come up. And the fact how he killed her, I kept seeing on Mollie's throat a rope mark. So, and I heard also stabbed. So I'm not going to say that's what happened to her, because like I said, this is the first time working with police, but I do this locally to help people. And no, I do not charge money. No, I do not take money. I am not one of those people that do that. I work from a point of view as if I was giving a gift, then use it for good. And you can't make money off of people's suffering, and I don't believe that's okay. So I'm hoping to see in the next week if this man had a cabin somewhere and he fished and something like that, because that's what I have a lot of water in this vision. I have a lot of wooded area, and this cabin keeps coming up. But she also kept saying to me, he watches. He took it from me. Tell my mother he took it from me. And I really hope that son of a bitch did not take a ring from her, because I feel like that's what he took from her ring. So my advice is, if he did take it, he pawned it. Something very personal to her. Obviously, if he took it, that could represent her life, her innocence, personal items, like I said the other day. I really... Oh, and there's one more thing. A key. She said something about a key. And also a girl that knows something. A baby. This is what's coming through. This could mean something else to somebody else, but I can't use laptop, because laptop I did see on the news. Like I said, she was easily overpowered. He was very tall. A house key. The name Dan. Also, I heard stepfather. A girl who knows what happened. Someone who watches her from a hidden space. Shadowed her. Fruit might represent fruit from the forbidden tree. Obviously, if you do something that is forbidden to take another life. Obsession. He's hiding in plain sight, manipulating the investigation. So that's what I had for Mollie. Again, as a medium, you're getting words from the other side, from a specific person you channel. Or when you do channel somebody else can come over and also give you information, but it's kind of hard to decipher it, maybe. I did hear one night, who's Mollie? And it's when I had gotten a message of another missing girl that was found dead. I believe it was a year ago, and she had asked me to help find her killer, one of the relatives of the girl. And that night, I had gotten 3 clues just from her picture, and I actually happened to be talking to Mollie, and then I heard who's Mollie. So I'm wondering if she came through and was interacting with me as I was doing Mollie's readings and her findings. So I'm just very, very happy that now she's going to be laid to rest, even though it's not how we all wanted. and I'm glad that son of a bitch is caught. Excuse me for my language. Either another person's coming through for a case, or I feel like I'm getting his a disassociated side is why I don't feel like it was him, because disassociation is like a sociopath type of thing. You have no feeling. So if a person gives no emotion to killing somebody, you will pick up on that as a medium. You will pick up on the disassociation of it. Like, okay, that doesn't seem like him. That's the kind of feeling that you would get. So it could be a lot of different things, but I'm glad this son of a bitch is going to get handed to him, because Mollie was and is and always will be the brightest. When she came through, it was like she was like a ray of sunshine. She was very, even as she was passed on, she was just very, when she said thank you, I actually cried, because it was such a warm, heartful feeling, like, thank you so much. It was very beautiful, very beautiful. But she's resting now, and it's sad that what happened to her. And as I told her, if I failed her in any way, that I was sorry, and that I would always thank her for trusting me to talk to me about it. So this is the end of my video, and I'm going to be moving on another case in about a week. I just want to give myself an emotional break, as I do feel like this stuff does take a lot out of you, because when you channel a spirit, or a spirit, sometimes a spirit can stay with you, and it can be like a daily thing. You don't just channel a spirit and it goes away. When you channel a spirit, for me, I feel their pain, I get sick, I hear them talking through either the day or night or both. Sometimes I take sleeping medication to just knock myself out sometimes, because at the end of the day, you need a break from the spirit world. When mediums do this kind of work, there are sure things. Yes, there is. And there are definite answers. But sometimes things come over in a way that we have to say, it's hard to word things that come through. You have to put it in a way to people that will make sense to them, or it helps them, like, oh yes, that's right. Or you have to be very careful how we come across and how we say things. Yes, we say what we hear. Yes, we say what we write down. How the impressions look to us, what they signify. That's a big, important thing. The apple and him watching her, I think that was the biggest thing for me. And when I heard drug, and he dragged her, and I heard rape significantly, numerous times. And I also saw the mark on her neck. So I'm wondering if the things what come through will be validated. Also the cabin and the water and the trees, the wooded area, like that kept coming through. When I say numerous times, I mean numerous. So either that has to do with her killer, or it has to do with another person that was killed, and it's giving me, this is where kind of thing. But I still believe that part has to do with Mollie. On the killer, to me, it has to be he has a dissociative personality, which means a split personality in some ways. Do I believe in that kind of stuff, in split personalities? I don't know. I'm a medium, so how can I say I don't believe in that kind of stuff? It's people can believe I'm a medium. Why isn't there such thing as split personality? But he can also be using that as a cover-up to his motive as well. I do not feel sorry for him in any way. I think something's really strange about it all. It's not making sense to me, adding up. But like I said, that can go back to his disassociative side. If you're a sociopath, a medium's not going to pick up on feeling of right or wrong, or did he do it, because sociopaths do not have feeling. They're just evil human beings. So this is the end of my video. Rest in peace, Mollie. I am glad you were found, sweetheart. And You blessed everybody that you ever came across.